Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich Mancuso with Robert Rizzo as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich Mancuso on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
Live from Parrot TV, YouTube Live, Sports with Rich, coming to you here on a Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. I'm Rich Mancuso. Welcome back in, folks, along with the Wiz, Robert Rizzo. Hey, Rob.
Hey, how's everyone?
How'd the week go for you, buddy?
Doing good. Bunch of Yankee news, Mets news, everything in between.
Yeah, you were at the ballpark with me a little bit. We had some fun, and you got to talk to John Sterling, Susan Waldman. Got to see Keith Hernandez at Citi Field. Even did a little soccer as well, my friend.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for sure.
Well, we got a lot to talk about. This is going to be a quick hour. We're going to get right to it. First of all, I want to tell everyone, of course, I'm going to have a fact of the week later. And I'm going to try and see if we can line up by next week. You get the fact of the week, something's coming your way. We have a live hotline we want you to call. Don't forget, here's the number, folks. If we don't get you in the cube to ask a question, and we're going to try and do that as best we can this week, the Wiz's eyes are better than mine. It's 347-398-2926. 347-398-2926. And in the second segment, in a little while, we'll take the phone calls if you call in. In the meantime, let's get to what Mets Yankees. But first, I want to address, before Wiz, we get into the Mets Yankees and all of baseball, I have to address this because we all saw it the other night on TV. We made headlines. It was nasty at Yankee Stadium on Sunday. Guardians and the Yankees. And let's take a quick look again at this altercation. Hope we never see this again. Angel Hernandez. We're going to get into that. I want to talk about, show the video briefly, if we have that at Parrot TV, my producer, and show that Yankees Guardian nasty situation out in the outfield. Kyle Straw goes into the stands, confronts the fans. And Wiz, I want your take on this because that was nasty and disgusting. Hope we never see it again. As a result, extra security in Yankee Stadium. That might have to end up putting extra fences out there for something like this not to happen. I don't give Miles Straw any credit for what he did. I can't blame him for Mercado, his teammate. You're getting insulted. Here it is again. You look at this, and, you know, I couldn't believe what I saw, Wiz.
Those are Yankee fans. Those are just jokesters and clowns.
No.
Those guys are going to get arrested.
You're right. It's terrible.
If it hit someone right on the head, you could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and you know, I got to credit Aaron Judge, Stanton, and some of those other Yankees for going out to calm the situation and help the Guardians out. And of course, the next night, extra security. I hope we never see this again. No one is right here. I don't fault the Guardians for defending themselves. I can't stand the Yankee fans for what they did. Whoever was the perpetrator, they still haven't pointed him or whoever they were, Rob. They have to be, I don't know, prosecuted, but banned from going to the stadium again.
Yeah, and to add to that, all these, it's glad Yankees came out to right field because if Judge and Stanton didn't get out there, it would have got real more nasty.
Yeah, exactly. But nasty, and it's something I've seen over the years. Fans have a right to yell and scream, and if they want to insult, which they shouldn't, use vulgarity, and I've heard that. A lot of kids in the ballpark near them, but they have no right throwing objects and trying to injure a ball player. And Miles Straw, on the other hand, has no right climbing the fence to confront the fans. So I don't give him right ears. So that's over and done with. And then we can talk Mets Yankees. Before we go, into looking at that Kyle Schwarber, Angel Hernandez incident, which brings back memories of baseball brawls with umpires and players. Wiz, the Yankees have turned it around tonight. Yeah. He's not related to you. The other Wiz, Anthony Rizzo, with 2 home runs, and all of a sudden the Yankee offense has come alive. That's what their fans have been waiting for.
Yeah, they've been waiting for that. The last 3 games, they're 3-0. They're beating the Orioles 10-5 right now. DJ LeMahieu entering today had an 11-game hitting streak, and now it's 12 games because he got another hit tonight. And they're 3rd in MLB for ERA. So the starting pitchers are showing up.
Without a doubt. Everyone was calling them off already within 2 weeks of the season, and their pitching's been superb, and their hitting has gotten around the bottom of the order. Kyle Falefa, in fact, Gleyber Torres might be coming around. He got a nice triple tonight. But these 2 guys, again, are key to the offense. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo, Stanton. And Stanton is still not – they still haven't got a home run back going. The Yankees dwell on the home run ball. We all know that. And Aaron Judge is coming around a little bit more. So that spells good news for the Yankees and the American League and baseball overall, because once that offense gets on a roll, we all know they hit home runs. They can do it. And they can win, score a lot of runs. They're starting to do that and break out. Not like the Baltimore Orioles tonight, a team that already leads baseball in strikeouts. I mean, they're just pathetic. All right. So the Yankees right now, and you'll have an update at the bottom of the hour, Wiz. They're in command tonight also against the lowly Baltimore Orioles. Let's look on the other side of town in New York and look at those amazing New York Mets. You and I are Met fans, but we stay partial. That guy, Matt Scherzer, last night, thought, he took a little Jacob deGrom type of game in him. He didn't score runs, and then, boom, all of a sudden, the 2-out rally down to the last strike, the amazing Mets struck, and they are the best team in baseball coming in tonight. And tonight, they could secure their 6th consecutive winning series against the Cardinals. Yeah,
Scherzer looked dominant. He had 10 strikeouts in 7 innings pitched. They were down 2-0, and they ended up winning 5-2. Lindor's been heating up in those last 5 games. He's got 7 hits. A big test for the Mets is coming up this weekend. They versus Philly at Citi Field and 4 versus Atlanta. That's an early testing.
And the early test has shown, Wiz, that they can beat the good teams. The Giants this past week, and now the Cardinals out in St. Louis, and the Phillies again at Citi Field this weekend. We'll be there Friday night. And you like what the Met pitching staff is doing without Jacob deGrom, who, by the way, his MRI looked okay. They're going to give him still a little more time. We waited. We finally got the word late last night. I would figure another 2 months. You see, if everything goes right, after another MRI, you'll see Jake back on the mound, and him and Scherzer like it was planned from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. And Bassett and Carrasco, McGill.
Oh, how about Carlos Carrasco?
Yeah, they're carrying the load without DeGrom for sure.
And the pitching is also leading the NL in ERA, or second in the ERA, and that was a forte of the Mets coming in. But the hitting, the 2-out hits, the situational hitting they didn't get last year, and we saw it last night to the end, and we're seeing it again tonight as the Mets continue their series with the Cardinals at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. So good for them. It's good to see the 2 New York teams doing well. Maybe in October, Riz. Maybe we'll have a Subway Series. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully. Better for New York.
I spoke to Louis Rojas, former Met manager in Yankee pinstripes. Pretty weird. Asked him, he was very complimentary about the Mets. He said just didn't work out. He wished them luck, and he said that look, he thinks the Mets are going to go a long way. He felt that they had the depth, and that's definitely true about this New York Mets team. They have depth. The only thing that I suspect with them is their bullpen. That's a little shaky.
Yeah, they got to add another arm before the deadline, I think, because Edwin Diaz, Trevor, I don't think that's it.
You saw that Friday again. He blew another home run.
We see too many fingers pointed up in the ninth, and it ends up being home runs instead of pop-ups. It ruins Met fans' nights.
But, hey, I'll take 14 wins if they win tonight.
Yes.
And not even the third week of April. We're not even 20 games into the season. Let's just hope they can keep it up. We haven't seen this we saw this last year. Not as good a start as this is, but they stay injury-free, as I've said, and they keep getting this good pitching. They run the bases well. Marte's a difference with this team. Cano's a big difference with this team. And Robinson Cano, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I got a feeling they're going to eat that salary and let him go soon.
Yeah, for sure. I feel I sound like a broken record, but with Lindor, I think he's meshing up and adding those stats because Starling Marte before him in the lineup. It's a big key to how the way they play the game together.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you, Wiz. We're going to talk more baseball. I want to look at now the incident we showed briefly. Kyle Schwarber and Angel Hernandez, the umpire. Angel Hernandez is one of the worst umpires in Major League Baseball. That's not him. We're going to get to that in a moment. We have the video again. Can we show that of Kyle Schwarber and Angel Hernandez, the altercation at home plate? Angel Hernandez has a horrible strike zone. He's been known to do this for years, and Kyle Schwarber took exception. As a result, he got tossed, and I haven't heard about any fines leveled at him. But you know what I liked? You know what I liked about that, Wiz? And I wish we could show the video again a little bit. I like the fact that we saw the umpire and the player going at it. We don't see that much too often. I mean, they didn't get too violent, but it got nasty. You know, it got nasty player, umpire. But Angel Hernandez, boo of the week. Terrible. Strike zone, there it is. Look at this. I think on his, that's baseball, you know, but this was out of hand. Angel Hernandez, go back to school. All right, and now I want some baseball notes of interest. Congratulations to Miguel Cabrera. We all know 500 club home runs, 3,000 hits, the 7th in history to do that in Major League, 33rd player in Major League Baseball to have to join that elite group. Great Miguel Cabrera, Hall of Fame bound. And how about the pitchers going down early in the season with injuries? The latest of the Orioles, John Means, a good pitcher. The Mets were looking at him going to Tommy John surgery. You know, Wiz, it comes down to when I talk to the scouts all the time. They tell me the same thing. You know, they throw hard at an early age, and with a shortened spring training, the pitchers just aren't ready, one after another, going down with arm or elbow injuries.
Yeah, they're creatures of habit. And with the shortened seasons in 2020, and it was supposed to be 30 games played this spring training, and now it's 15, they're rushing all these pitchers, especially the young ones. And that's when you see the injuries. Last year, we saw Tyler Glasnow go down early, and now you're seeing John Means go down early. It's not good for the sport in all shapes.
And that's why pitching staffs are staying at 14 now. MLB and the Players Association agreed they needed to do that and extend that rule because all of a sudden too many pitchers are going down. So baseball is hot and heavy in the second week. A lot of things are going on in baseball, including, like I said, the umpires. Look at the umpires look. I came across this during the week. I don't know if you saw this, Wiz, and it blew my mind. Charlie Blackmon of the Rockies has an endorsement. Did you see this?
Yeah, I saw that.
With a working sports bookmaking company. He's a brand rep for them. The NBA and the NFL also do this. If he's able to do that, and Pete Rose, my favorite, said this, I came around a little too early. You know,
that was my first thought. I thought of Pete Rose. He's still not in the Hall of Fame, but Charlie Blackmon.
It blows my mind what's going on. I can't believe it. But you know, we're in a new world with gambling and all that stuff, and in online gambling, and that's what's going to happen. So
we're just going to see more.
All right, and power rankings. You got to look at the Mets. You got to look also at the Yankees, and who else you got up there?
Definitely the Blue Jays, the Dodgers. They're all battling for the top 5 spots. You got the Braves in there too, defending World Series.
Again, it's early though. It's still too early. So
early.
Whatever it is, but not too early to go to this. The NBA. I think it's been a fantastic first round of the NBA playoff season, and we're going to take a look at the Brooklyn Nets briefly. Celtics Nets. Nets get eliminated in 4. Yeah. Disgusting here. If you're a Nets fan, I know how you feel. But you know what? They disappointed. Those guys, Irving, Durant, who do you blame, Wiz?
Yeah, I blame both of them along with the coaching staff. This was a regular season terrible all from the jump because Kyrie only played 40 games. KD was hurt. And Kyrie with the vaccination status, he only played half the season. They took this regular season as a joke, and you saw it in the 4 games against Boston. Boston was flowing on all assets, defense, offense, coaching. Tatum averaged 29.5 points per
Young star in the NBA.
And he grew up watching Kevin Durant. And now he gets to beat him in the first
Something's got to be done in Brooklyn because this didn't work out. And shame on Simmons. What's wrong with him? He's a mental case.
Yeah, it's bad on all assets. I blame Clutch Sports, the agency under Ben Simmons. They've been speaking for him on everything since the Philly trade, and he's still demanding $20 million from Philly, although he hasn't played all season for the 76ers. I just don't understand that. And then he goes to Brooklyn and doesn't step on the court.
All right, Anthony Edwards. Let's look at this series with the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, tell us a little bit about the Timberwolves, A-Rod's team.
Yeah, I believe this series has the best intensity in all of the first round. It's the most future on both teams across the NBA. What I mean by that is you got the first round pick in 2020 out of Georgia, Anthony Edwards. The 2015 out of Kentucky, Anthony Towns. John Morant was the second overall pick in 2019, and Jaren Jackson was the fourth overall pick in 2019 out of Michigan State. So there's a bunch of future stars in this round, and one team's going to advance for the second round, and they haven't been there in a while. Both teams.
When you go back now to the Celtics again, where next round?
Yeah, Boston faces the winner of Bucks and the Bulls. The Bucks are currently up 3-1. I believe
you're going to save that for your update in a few minutes. You're going to give a quick update. I'm sure fans at home watching us, I hope, and also looking at monitoring the scores. But I love what's going on. This first round of the playoffs have been really, really good, exciting. It reminds me of March Madness in the NCAA. Suns Pelicans. Now, the Suns come home. They're back. They're starting up in a few minutes back in Phoenix. The Pelicans, a team that finished the season as the 8th seed, under 500. The Suns, the best team in the NBA. I can't believe the Phoenix Suns. Well, I think it's because Devin Booker is out. It means a lot not having Booker on the court. And that's why the Suns are struggling, man. They come home. Good home team. They did it all year. What do you think tonight? Do they go ahead in this series and take control?
I think New Orleans got it without Devin Booker playing for the Suns. That's their main piece. That's their franchise. You can't depend on Chris Paul night in and night out to give you 30 points at this age in his career. You got a lot of guys on the Pelicans: Ingram, C.J. McCollum, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado. He's a New York native.
Yeah, now Brooklyn.
Yes. There you go. And the last time an 8 seed defeated and eliminated the 1 seed was in 2011. The Grizzlies defeated the Spurs. So we haven't seen that in a while.
No.
Wow. Rizzo, what Jackson Bertucci says, Rizzo hit 3 homers tonight.
Oh, you get the trifecta.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there's a game again. We go back to the Yankees
Jackson.
And your paisan, Anthony Rizzo, is there's no relation to this guy, though.
It's almost
Same nose they have. And there they go. And Rizzo's got he's got it going. And if they could get Joey Gallo to go, and also the rest of that lineup, they're going to be tough. They're going to start to score a lot of runs, even though they're playing the lowly Baltimore Orioles. You know what? The Yankees is still a formidable team, still a team that can score a lot of runs, and they're getting good pitching, which helps. Okay. All right, we're going to move on. We're going to go to break, brief, and come back and do a little keep it in the ring. Bottom of the hour, NFL draft. Get ready. Scott Engel from The Game is going to come. I think Scott writes. Scott, my buddy Scott Engel, he's listening already.
Yeah.
And Scott Engel's going to say to me, why don't you know what affiliation I'm from? But he is The Game Day, and a great writer and knows his football, the NFL, the ins and outs and all that. He'll be at the bottom of the hour. But first, and remember, you can give us a call on the hotline, 347-398-2926. And, of course, we'll get your answers in the cube if you're doing that right now. Well, you know what time of day it is. What is it, Wiz?
It's time for Fact of the Day.
No, Fact of the Week.
Fact of the Week.
I could give you a fact every day. Okay, Fact of the Week. And again, we'll hopefully by next week you get it. We'll have something for you. We'll send right to your doorstep. Here it is, the Fact of the Week. I want to see you get the answer. Call us on the hotline or get it in the cube. And this pertains to the NFL and football. The average NFL career is 3.3 years. You know, the average Major League Baseball career has been reduced. You know that. They came out with that this week. It's like 7 years or a little less, which blew my mind. But the NFL average career for an NFL player is 3.3 years. I want to know the fact of the week, everyone. What position players have the shortest career by averages in their career, right? So, let me know. Is it the running backs, the wide receivers, the cornerbacks? Let me know what NFL position player has the shortest career by average. All right, that's the fact of the week. Come up with the answer, or I'm going to give it to you later. Right, Wiz? I always do. Do you know the answer?
Yeah, I always got an answer.
You do have an answer?
Yeah, I got one.
Hold it, because you probably looked at my notes again. I know you, my friend. All right, so we're going to take a deep break and come back, talk a little, keep it in the ring. I got some boxing stuff to talk about, a little pro wrestling. That'll take us to the bottom of the hour, and then we'll have an update, and Scott Engel will come in. This is Sports with Rich, live on Parrot TV and YouTube. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Back on the other side. Right back.
Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich Mancuso with Robert Rizzo as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich Mancuso on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
Live on Parrot TV, via YouTube, also Sports with Rich. I'm Rich Mancuso. He's the Wiz. That's Robert Rizzo, no relation to Anthony of the Yankees, who had 3 home runs already tonight at Yankee Stadium. And I could hear John Sterling screaming. How does he call? What's his home run call, Wiz?
Oh, I don't recall for Rizzo.
Oh, you wouldn't know.
He only started in July for the Yankees.
Well, you got friendly with him the other day. You should know his home run calls. Right?
Yeah.
But he hasn't called Carl Filet for yet because he hasn't hit a home run. But he had a game Sunday at the end of the game before he called the fans hooligans. He had a Filet for tied the game, right? And he had a call for him on that hit. And I don't remember what it was, but it was nowhere what anyone expected. I think he's still working on it. Besides, I love John. Everyone knows that. But he called the Indians like 50,000 times, and no one corrected him. But that's John. That's John Sterling for you. All right. You ready for some Keep It in the Ring, everyone? Don't forget the hotline, 347-398-2926, or get us in the cube here. Sports with Rich live on Parrot TV, YouTube, also Sports with Rich. Like, comment, and subscribe. I want to hear from you, okay? Keep it in the ring. We're going to go to the major heavyweight title fight that happened this weekend. Tyson Fury took care of business. Tyson Fury disposed Dylan White before 94,000 plus at Wembley Stadium in England, which became a record. That was exciting to see if you didn't miss the fight. Not so the knockout, but the atmosphere at Wembley. And afterwards, with that right, Tyson, that's what made Tyson Fury, that right, and you could see it right there. Tyson Fury said that was it, he's retiring, but fans, I don't believe that. I think Tyson Fury, despite all the other ventures he has, is still going to be the face of the heavyweight division, take some time off, work in SummerSlam with the WWE and Drew McIntyre probably in the summer. And in addition, probably get a UFC fight going. He brought one of the top UFC heavyweights into the ring. Don't ask me. I can't pronounce his name, but he's also from the UK. But Tyson Fury, to me, far from done after making $30 million, which was a record for this fight. The promoter, Frank Warren, did a great job. We'll see Tyson Fury again. He's good for boxing. Let's face it. He's really good for boxing, okay? Some major fights coming up on the calendar this weekend. Going to talk about that. But, Riz, I want you to look at this with me. Let's play that briefly again. We saw earlier, got to tease a bit. Mike Tyson and this stupid fan got into an altercation with Tyson on a plane going down to Miami. Tyson was going to some type of affair or convention. And you know what? Mike's a good guy. I know Mike well. I haven't seen him lately. I've dealt with him. We all had issues with him in the media years back. But you know what? You're going to provoke Mike Tyson. This is what we're going to do. You know, Wiz, have you ever been on a plane when you have people around you just don't know when to stop?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
And there are times I want to do that, but I never do because I hold my temper, and I have an Italian temper. Everyone knows that. But Mike Tyson had enough. I can't blame him. Yet, you know, this guy was obviously too boozed up. And, you know, Iron Mike had enough and gave it to him. So, I don't know. Mike, so far, everything is good. There were no charges filed. But remember, here, look at this. Look at this. Look. You see the guy just provoking Iron Mike.
Yeah, he just wouldn't stop.
And Mike is telling him enough. I mean, Mike was nice enough to talk to him, give him an autograph. But no, this bozo had to continue. And what do you expect? Mike just had enough of it. And, you know, like I said, Mike Tyson is a sweet, mellow guy as he in his later years. Provoke him, and like any celebrity, it's going to happen, Wiz.
Yeah, and I find it funny how his friends record him the whole time.
I know.
It goes viral from his friends.
I know.
Meanwhile,
well, somebody got a lot of hits.
up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were keeping it in the ring on an airplane, which shouldn't happen. And we hope not to see that anymore, all right? All right, some boxing news. This weekend in Madison Square Garden, we're keeping it in the ring. Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, history main event, female title fight. The Garden's going to be almost sold out. And congratulations to the females in boxing. And that's attributed a lot to Jake Paul, who has helped to promote them. Or was it, Jake, not Logan. I always confuse the two brothers. And that's why Serrano is getting the highest payday for a female fighter. Good for her. I'm glad to see that. ESPN, Oscar Valdez, Shakur Stevenson, 130-pound title. That is going to be ESPN Saturday night. Good title fight. Valdez and Stevenson. Stevenson from Newark. Valdez, the Mexican. So we're going to see some fireworks in that one. A good main event lined up on ESPN this weekend. Talked to David Benitez today out in Phoenix on a conference call with other media members. He's ready for David Lemieux, May 21st in Arizona, in Phoenix, in his hometown again. And looks like Ben Benitez is still eyeing Canelo Alvarez, whether it be 168 or 175. Canelo, of course, fighting Dimitri Bivol at 175. That's coming up as a light heavyweight. Canelo jumping up, then he's going to go back down again at 168 if all works out, and have that Triple G match again for the trilogy in September. So Benitez is ready. Says he wants to get the title that was taken away from him a few years ago. And, of course, Canelo Alvarez and Bivol setting up. Look, this is boxing season, Wiz. If you don't know boxing by now, you're going to get it from me. All right? Keep it in the ring. Some pro wrestling. That's Cody Rhodes, who's ready to go into WWE Backlash into a confrontation with Seth Rollins. Cody Rhodes now seems to be next to Roman Reigns, the face of the WWE. Good for him. No, I didn't like the fact that he left up to AEW, the one he put together. Now the American Nightmare is a main eventer again for the WWE. And how about 60-year-old Sting, Steve Borden in AEW? Let's get a look at this. We have an image. Put up Sting, and you're going to see Sting, a 60-year-old. There he is, from the rafters. Can you imagine me, a 65-year-old guy, doing that? Well, Steve Borden Sting has still got the athleticism to do it, and he did it just at a recent pay-per-view, and he's going to do it, and he did it this past week on AEW Dynamite. Probably do it again, Wiz. You probably could do that. You know who you remind me? Wiz, I got to show you a picture of Darby Allin. You're an image of Darby Allin in AEW without the face paint.
Oh, okay.
And a skateboard, because you look like a skateboarder. Do you skateboard?
No, I've never skateboarded.
No. Did you ever pro wrestle before? Or be a pro wrestler?
No, I don't have the size for that.
All right, I'm going to get you involved. I got to see if I can get you.
Get me in WWE.
My partner, The Wiz, becoming a WWE superstar. That should keep it in the ring briefly this week. More next week. I'm going to be lining up a former or current champion soon here on Sports with Rich, Parrot TV, YouTube. The phone number, the hotline, 347-398-2926. And, of course, the fact of the week, still up for an answer Average NFL career, 33.3 years. What position player has the highest career by number in the NFL? We'll be back when we come back after this brief break on the other side. Scott Engel, my football guru, going to talk NFL draft Thursday night from Las Vegas. A 3-day event, a spectacular on ESPN and ABC. I look forward to it. We'll pick Scott ears about the picks, suspense, whatever you have it. Back in a moment, more Sports with Rich, Parrot TV, YouTube. Stay with us.
Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Rich Mancuso with Robert Rizzo as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich Mancuso on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
All right, Wiz, that's Rich Mancuso. That's Robert the Riz Wizzo. Sports with Rich, live Tuesday night, 10, 11 p.m. here on Parrot TV, YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Leave us comments at the bottom in the cube. Have you seen any, Wiz? Have any come up?
Just the Rizzo 3-homer comment.
All right. Those are people entrenched in the NBA playoffs, which we'll get. But there he is.
Hey.
I'm going to say hello to my good friend in the business, Scott Engel. He's a football guru. This guy knows if anyone knows the NFL, every player inside out, fantasy, and especially with the NFL draft coming up Thursday night, that's Scott Engel. Scott, welcome, my friend.
Good to see you, Rich. Good to be with you, Robert. I'm a little feel for what you said tonight. Usually people say they want to pick my brain. You said you want to pick my ear. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I'm not going to go bye-bye to you yet, though. All right?
I noticed the Seattle Seahawks hat.
Yeah, Scott.
Even though I'm a New Yorker, I have been a Seahawks fan mostly since I've been watching football. I'm still reeling from the Russell Wilson trade there. It's
yeah, I know.
I
was going to ask you about that. I didn't want to irritate you.
Yeah,
I didn't want to irritate you.
I'm still in shock over it. Yeah,
I know, but we're going to talk Seahawks in a moment. I want to pick your ear about the draft, the NFL draft.
Again, my ear there it goes again.
Yeah, well, it's a spectacular. It's a spectacle. It's to me the favorite draft in all professional sports. 3 days. Last year, suspense, quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, where we was going to go. What I like about the NFL draft is all that suspense still. Who goes where, who's going to trade up, trade down. And that's why I got you here, Scott, from the he's a writer for The Game Day, and a very good one as well, does fantasy and everything else. Scott, first of all, this draft doesn't seem to be as intense and suspenseful as it was last year or even the year before. However, you still got some quarterbacks up for grabs, and you still have your share of cornerbacks and defensive people. Teams are looking. Teams are going to do what? And as we talk about certain guys, and the Wiz will interject, who do you think goes number one in this draft Thursday night?
Well, usually, before the draft, the edge defenders are, going to be drafted very high here. You could see 3 or 4 going to the top 10 in this draft. And this you're right, Rich. This has been a very hard draft for a lot of people to predict, and the quarterback class isn't as impressive as in past years, according to a lot of draft nicks and NFL experts. Over at the Game Day in our mock draft by Marcus Mosher, they have Aiden Hutchinson, the edge rusher from Michigan, going with the number 1 overall pick. He's probably the most accomplished.
Yeah,
he's probably the most accomplished of all the edge rushers.
I'm gonna put that.
When an
Yeah.
edge rusher actually finished his second in the Heisman Trophy voting, that tells you a lot. You can actually bet that over at BetMGM. Aiden Hutchinson, the number one overall pick, is minus 175 to go first overall. But there's been a lot of talk now. Peter King, I think, who actually started it, is that Trayvon Walker from Georgia, who actually may have more upside as an edge rusher, is now projected by a lot of people to go number one. And you can make a nice bet off of that at BetMGM at plus 140 for him to go number one overall. There's been a lot of buzz that Trayvon Walker can actually go number one over Aiden Hutchinson.
And to add to Hutchinson's career at Michigan, he had 14 sacks his senior year. That tied third overall in the NCAA for football. He had 62 total tackles. So you brought up Walker. If you had the chance, who would you choose between Hutchinson and Walker?
Both are very, Hutchinson is more decorated, but there's talk that Walker actually has more upside. So you're sitting number one overall. It's really up to talent evaluators. I think Hutchinson might be the safer pick, but if you're looking for more upside, you might go with Walker.
Okay.
Now we'll switch. Look at the two highest ranked quarterbacks: Pittsburgh's Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis. Pickett. Yeah, Scott. You don't know what Scott and I have this thing in the press box baseball with names of ball players, and that's Scott Engel for you. But let's take a look at Kenny Pickett. We have an image of in Seattle. Yeah. We have an image of Kenny Pickett right now. We'll put that up on the screen. And tell us about Kenny Pickett. You and Wiz could talk about him. Where do you think he's projected to go?
Kenny Pickett, the quarterbacks, the mocks have him going all over the place. He is generally regarded as the quarterback who will probably go off the board first. He could go as early as 6 to Carolina, but who knows? He could fall, number 16 to New Orleans or number 20 to Pittsburgh. The mock drafts are all over the place, guys. Some will say that the quarterbacks, like 3 could go in the top 10. Others are saying none will go in the first round, which I don't think will happen because there's even though this isn't a great class, there are a lot of teams, about 6 of them, that need a quarterback in the first 2 rounds, and there aren't a lot of alternatives if you don't get a quarterback. Carolina's in a really desperate situation. They do have the most cap room going into the draft, but if they don't draft a quarterback, it's either trade for Baker Mayfield or Jimmy Garoppolo or bust. And Pickett's been actually compared to Matt Hasselbeck or Andy Dalton when he was playing better with Cincinnati, which means he can be a competent pro. Look, Matt Hasselbeck took the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. He was a pretty good NFL quarterback. They're the only quarterback in this class that may have star potential truly is Malik Willis, but Kenny Pickett is actually viewed as the most competent guy coming out of college, the most pro ready.
I was going to say the biggest storyline out of the draft combine was his hand size. And I remember that in 2019 with Joe Burrow, all the media made a big storyline of the hand size. And now 2 years later, Burrow already entered a Super Bowl. So I don't think it's going to be a big deal with the hand size overall factor.
Yeah, there are other factors there. A lot of people talk about the hand size, but that's the draft. Everybody's looking at the minutia. Oh, his nose is too big. His eyes are too wide. Things like that. Can the kid play? And he can. You're not going to get a Burrow or a Stafford in this draft class, but you have to remember though that a lot of time the draft is a lottery ticket, and the guys in the front office can't listen to all the outside noise and look at the mocks because a lot of times the evaluators aren't correct. It's not a criticism of it. It's just the way the NFL is. Russell Wilson was a 3rd-round draft pick. Dak Prescott was a 4th-round draft pick. So any of these players could certainly exceed expectations.
Those are great points.
Yeah, very good points. How about switching gears, Evan Neal? There's a lot of talk about him. Evan Neal, and we have an image of Evan Neal.
Yeah, that he's regarded as the top offensive tackle in the class. Maybe the Giants could actually nab him in the first round because the Giants do have that need on the offensive line. Ikem Ekwonu is also also regarded as the other top tackle. He's mocked on the game day, the gameday.com by our Marcus Mosher to go number 8 to Carolina, with them actually passing on a quarterback. But Evan Neal, it wouldn't be surprising to see him go as early as number 2 to Detroit, or maybe number 3 to Houston.
Yeah, he looks like a freak of nature. He's 6'8", 337, and he led Alabama to the college football championship, which they lost to Georgia. So he has that championship pedigree to add to an NFL franchise.
Talking to Scott Engel, the GameStop, my football guru.
The game day, the GameStop.
Why do GameStop is a
video
game.
games? Yes.
Well, you're almost like a video game, Scott. You look like a video game geek. You know that.
Really?
That's a compliment. Don't get insulted.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
He is a football guru. You want to know anything, Wiz, in the NFL? This draft coming up Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Scott, you gotta love it. 3-day spectacle, NFL, the draft in Vegas. Yeah, it's a spectacle, man. I mean, it's
spectacle. It's like you're wearing your spectacles.
That's he's the only guy that makes me laugh. Scott,
I'm the only one, Rich. Nobody else makes him laugh. No one.
No one does.
He's always so serious when we're
forget
in
about
the press
that.
box.
Well, I got work to do. I don't fool around. What about the Jets and Giants in New York, Jersey, as I call them? We're a national show, now worldwide on YouTube, Sports with Rich Parrot TV. But the Jets and Giants always have interest in this draft. What do you expect out of both of them?
Both of them have picks in the top 10. And, the Jets.
I was going to ask you, a lot of teams have multiple first-round picks, don't they?
Some of them, but then some don't have any in the first round at all.
So where do you think the Jets and Giants go in this draft?
Well, over at the game day, our mock says that the Jets are going to go with an edge rusher at number 4, Kayvon Thibodeau of Oregon, who should go somewhere in the top 10. Very versatile edge defender. The Jets could also go with Sauce Gardner, the top cornerback in the draft there, because they do have those needs on defense. And Sauce Gardner has actually been compared to Richard Sherman, and you'll like this, Rich. NFL.com actually said he has a boxer's sort of technique, when he covers wide receivers, because he's so physical with his hands.
And a mentality.
The Jets are number four, but his technique they're talking about. Number 10, our mock has them taking Drake London, the big receiver out of USC. But I think that would make a lot of sense for the Jets to actually, get a size receiver, because they struck out trying to get Tyreek Hill, trying to make a trade for DK Metcalf, which just wasn't going to happen. So they might have to draft, one of these top receivers. If they grab Treylon Burks, I would not be surprised. I actually might like Treylon Burks a little bit better than Drake London personally.
Yeah.
Then you have the Giants. Evan Neal is mocked to them on the game day at number 5 at Alabama, and that's something they definitely need. And the Giants could go a variety of ways, maybe with an edge defender at number 7. The game day has them taking Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State.
So there is still that intrigue in this draft starting Thursday night, as far as
the intrigue is where the quarterback's going to go, because like I said, the quarterback class is not regarded as a good one, but there are teams with dire needs. And we could see a quarterback go as early as number 2 to Detroit, or then maybe Pittsburgh or New Orleans could trade ahead to the Panthers, who really need a quarterback at number 6. Then you have Atlanta at number 8 and Seattle at number 9 that could all go after quarterbacks. And you got New Orleans at number 16, Pittsburgh at number 20. There's still going to be intrigue for these quarterbacks and where they go, even though this class is not as regarded as good as in past years.
Yeah, and I like your idea with Drake London from USC. He played with Elijah Vera-Tucker. That was the Jets' first-round pick last year. It adds a little chemistry just to start off. and he got him compared to CD Lamb. CD Lamb.
I don't know if he has as much downfield gear as CD Lamb. I would probably compare Traylon Burks more to him.
Okay.
Actually, NFL.com compared Drake London to Ed McCaffrey, the former Broncos wide receiver and the father of Christian McCaffrey, a big fluid receiver.
Okay.
Scott, I'm intrigued though still with Aiden Hutchinson. Why is he his name always coming up? What is so special about Aiden Hutchinson?
Like we were talking about, when a guy finishes second in the Heisman voting and he's an edge rusher, that says a lot about him. He's probably the most accomplished and decorated pass rusher coming out of this class. The one question about him is he going to have as much upside as a guy like Walker? But he's much more of a safer pick than Walker.
Interesting. And I've seen him play, and I think he's got all that capability of becoming an instant, and I don't know this as well as you do, or maybe even the Wiz, because you know my forte, what it is, okay? But I'm amazed at his versatility.
The Walking Dead, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick's going to come back in the final episode, I think. I'm going to get you.
I won't watch until he does.
See, Wiz, this is what we talk about in the press box. We'll start talking sports and football and everything else. All of a sudden, we're talking about The Walking Dead and everything else. But yeah, I'm sorry, Scott, but what team really do you think he ends up with?
I think if Walker goes if he goes number one overall to Jacksonville, there's a possibility that Hutchinson could go at number 2 to Detroit. So okay. I don't think he's going to fall out of the top 3.
Right. Okay. So if I'm going to put you on the spot, and I know you don't like this, up and down trading and all that, which makes the NFL draft so interesting and perplexing. Give me your top 5 picks. And I'm not going to be watching Thursday night. Who's the top 5 in your opinion?
Okay. My personal top 5, I'm going to go with Trayvon Walker at number 1 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And number 2, you have the Detroit Lions on the board. I'll say they take Aiden Hutchinson. Number 3, I'm going to agree with the mock draft from the game day from our Marcus Mosher and go with Sauce Gardner, the quarterback out of Cincinnati. Then it's interesting. What are the New York Jets going to do at number 4? Because I think they would really like to get Sauce Gardner, and they could probably wait till number 10 for a wide receiver. So I think the Jets just go best player available there. And then I'm also in agreement with our mock draft that they'll go with Kayvon Thibodeau, and then I can see the Giants go with Evan Neal. I think the only thing I disagree with the mock on the game day is that maybe the Aiden Hutchinson Walker sort of order. But if I think the Jets really want to get Sauce Gardner at number 4, and that's a good possibility that can happen.
How about
the Texans could go Evan Neal at number 3?
What to do? How about your team? I call them your team because you love them so much. Seahawks.
Yeah, you can check out my fantasy content throughout the season on Seahawks.com. They have 3 picks in the top 41. I think they're going to use a quarterback on one of those 3. It'll be interesting to see if Malik Willis drops to number 9. If they would take him, if not, I could see them going with maybe Desmond Ridder in the second round, who's more football intelligence and traits. I mean, and smarts than he is pure ability. But I think the Seahawks would like that. But I think at number 9, you're looking at either going maybe the top offensive tackle on the board could be Charles Cross, or it could be a quarterback. I think they're going to go offensive tackle or cornerback, but don't be surprised. I don't think Sauce Gardner is going to actually fall to number 9, but they could also be in the market for a quarterback. Derek Stingley is regarded as the second best cornerback. He's got the length and the size that Pete Carroll likes. So I'm finally offensive tackle, quarterback, or cornerback.
Briefly, Scott, because we're running out of time with you, I got to keep going. and me and you could go on forever. Arizona Cardinals, the team that I root for.
The Arizona Cardinals, I don't think they have a first-round pick, actually.
No, they don't. They don't.
Yeah, so
I don't think they do.
I think there's a possibility that maybe in the second round, I have them mocked actually maybe to get a running back if Breece Hall actually drops to the second round of Kenneth
Well,
Walker.
they need a running back because there's no more Chase Edmonds there.
Well, they still do have – they did re-sign James Conner, but I think, they want to have two good running backs there.
Yeah, and Chase Edmonds was one of them, and I only know why he left, but probably the financial stuff and all that. Hey, Scott, anything else before? Hey, Fordham basketball, and Kyle Neptune is their head coach to Villanova.
Yeah.
Scott, from you and I go back a while, and your knowledge of the NFL football, fantasy football, where do people reach you, my friend?
Check me out at Scott E. The King on Twitter, and check me out at thegameday.com. I'll be covering the NFL draft for fantasy perspectives Thursday and Friday night for the game day. And also you can check out all my fantasy baseball content there as well. I do a daily waiver wire blog where I recommended to pick up Michael Lorenzen and Taylor Ward of the Angels this morning.
Okay, Scott. It's always a pleasure, my friend. I'll see you,
Scott.
And I'll see you at the ballpark probably sometime in the next week. And I don't know what to say except that bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Stop picking my ears. Bye-bye.
All right, Scott Engel. Scott Engel in the NFL draft Thursday night, 3-night spectacle, ESPN, ABC. He's your football guru, right, Wiz? Doesn't he know his stuff?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Wiz, we're coming down to a final segment, brief break. But first, quick sports update time. Go ahead.
Yes, the Miami Heat eliminated the Atlanta Hawks tonight, 4-1 series. They defeated them in Game 5 with no Jimmy Butler playing tonight. The New Orleans Pelicans and Suns are playing right now. The Suns are up 38-27.
Boy, they better win that game.
Yep, it's in the second quarter right now. And the Timberwolves lost to the Grizzlies 111-109. The Grizzlies lead the series 3-2. Game 6 should be going on Friday night.
And Mets and Yankees on their way to wins tonight. The Yankees win already?
Yeah, I believe the Yankees won 12-8 to Orioles.
And the Mets?
Rizzo 3-homer night. And the Mets are up 2-0 in the top of the ninth with 1 out to go.
And my friend and colleague Susan Waldman did the game from home. COVID days again. Came down with positive COVID tests. She's doing it. Came from her home on the monitors tonight.
Yeah.
Get better soon. She said she's okay. I hope so. I love Susan. She's such a great person, too. All right. Going to wrap it up when we come back. Sports with Rich here, live on Parrot TV, YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Sports with Rich. Back to wrap it up in a moment.
Hey, sports fans! New York Parrot has come out with a great new show for you guys, Sports with Rich. Broadcast time 10 p.m. Tuesday evening with Rich Mancuso with Robert Rizzo as a co-host. Sports with Rich is captivating, informative, and entertaining, and it will pertain to all American sports such as soccer, football, basketball, baseball, athletics, wrestling, you name it. Get rich information from Rich Mancuso on Sports with Rich. Parrot TV, the voice for humanity.
Sports with Rich, Parrot TV, YouTube Live. Sports with Rich, Tuesday nights live, 10 to 11 p.m. Eastern. Remember to give us a call. If you didn't, 347-398-2926, the hotline, and in the cube. You didn't do it this week, do it next. We're going to be here again next week. Going to wrap it up soon. We're coming to a quick hour close here, Wiz. The NHL Stanley Cup. We haven't talked hockey, and we will next week. The Stanley Cup playoffs are upon us. Wiz, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Thought you fell asleep.
Nah, NHL playoffs start later next week. I believe the Rangers are hot right now. I do not know who they versed in the first round, but they've been taking over in New York.
Yeah, they They had a winning season all around.
Islanders is struggling.
And we're gonna see. Well, they didn't make the playoffs, you know that.
No.
So we'll talk NHL a little more of that next week and get your views on how the draft spanned out. Take a look at this. NYCFC soccer at Citi Field this past Sunday. We were both there. Again, we see NY, as I wrote on NewYorkSportsDay.com and you on LatinoSports.com, two websites we both write for. The NYCFC still doesn't have a home field secured. Who knows when they'll ever get one. Take a look at this image. A baseball stadium now in Queens, Citi Field, turned into a soccer facility on Sunday. Beautiful scene, though, wasn't it, DeBoys?
Yeah, it was beautiful. NYCFC was down 0-2 in the beginning of the first half. They came back and won 5-4. There was a different score for every goal.
And the Castellanos scored his 5th goal.
MLS Player of the Week.
Yeah, and that's his 5th goal in 2 games, and he's on his way to maybe defending his Golden Boot Award as the top scorer in the MLS. I'll be back with them Sunday over at Yankee Stadium as they continue their MLS season, and they're looking pretty good. All right, fact of the week. Did anybody get it? Did you, Wiz?
I believe I got it.
What is it?
I believe the position is running back.
Oh, you cheated.
What?
But you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
Because the average NFL career is 3.3 years.
Oh, okay.
But what position players have the shortest career by average? You weren't far away.
Okay.
Wide receivers. Nope. Cornerbacks first, 2.94 have the shortest. Then the wide receivers, 2.81. And then the running backs, 2.57. Oh, those are unbelievable statistics.
Yeah.
And more so, where do I come up with these stupid facts? You know what I mean, my friend?
Yeah.
All right, Wiz. A quick hour here on Sports with Rich at Parrot TV. I want to thank everyone at Parrot TV behind the scenes again, making this possible. I want to thank Scott Engel from the Game. What is this site again? Game Day. Why I keep going GameStop? I don't even play that. I don't even know what GameStop is. You young people, man, you confuse me all the time. That's the Wiz, Robert Rizzo. I'm Rich Mancuso. This is Sports with Rich every Tuesday night, live 10 to 11 p.m. here on Parrot TV and YouTube. Sports with Rich. Go to my channel, which is a part of this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll keep you updated all week long. Next week, well, lining up some people. I don't know who as of yet. Maybe some boxing, maybe a surprise, and hopefully fact of the week answer will get you something right delivered to your 4-foot doorstep if you get it right. Wiz, thanks for your time, my friend, always.
Yep.
Great hour, fast-paced, and everyone out there for tuning in, thank you again. I always appreciate the support. You can reach me at Twitter, Ring786, Facebook.com, Rich Mancuso, LatinoSports.com, NewYorkSportsDay.com, among the many sites I write for. And you, Wiz, how do they reach you?
All my work will be on LatinoSports.com. Follow me on Twitter, Drizzy Riz. Follow me on Instagram, RRizzo4. Facebook, Robert Rizzo. We will be at Yankee Stadium tomorrow night and Citi Field on Friday night against the Phillies.
Busy time in sports, but Rizzy Riz.
Yep.
Why can't you just call yourself the Wiz?
Nah, I like the name.
Oh, you see. Oh, okay. Well, anyway,
Follow me.
You got to follow both of us. Great job again, Wiz. Thank you. See you next week. Thank you all for watching, tuning in, and we'll look forward to talking to you again live next Tuesday night. Parrot TV, YouTube, Sports with Rich Mancuso, and the Wiz, Robert Rizzo. Stay safe, everyone, and as always, what do you say, Rob?
Keep it in the ring.
Keep it in the ring, everyone. Good night.
Are you curious about financial literacy? Then take a look at Professor Anthony Rivecchio's new program on Parrot TV. It's called Financial Focus University. This is an excellent program to learn about questions related to your own finances post-COVID, and how you can manage your money, how you can work with your tax situation. And this is an excellent and informative discussion of financial literacy. With Professor Anthony Rivecchio, your financial problems will be solved at Parrot TV with Financial Focus University.